Yeah, joining us now for the rest of the show, the former England, Manchester United, Aston Villa and Watford man, current Everton fullback, Ashely Young. Morning, Ash.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Gabby.
How you doing? Okay, you enjoying Germany?
I am, yeah. I'm enjoying it now, especially after getting rid of seeing that game last night. Waking up this morning feeling a bit better.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the texts and the calls that are coming in. There's a lot of negativity. Can you find any positives?
I think I said last night after the game, the only real positive out of it was getting through that game. There's been so much negativity surrounding the game, and justly and rightly so, because of the performance wasn't good enough. I think that, watching it last night, we were slow, we were laboured. We could have beaten a Slovakian team if we had done the right things, like you said, of running in behind, seeing the spaces beside Lobotka, trying to get in threaten them in behind. It just didn't happen. It wasn't there. We just didn't show enough in that game to suggest this was the turning point of the competition. But somehow we managed to get ourselves through into the next round.
Ash, I know what you was like at Aston Villa and what you like now still as a vocal player in the changing room. Which players in this squad do you think in the changing room at half-time and after the game would have been like shouting at the other players and saying, come on guys, liven up. We can be the first team in 58 years to win a trophy. Look at the route we've got. Let's liven up. Who do you think would be that player out of the players that are there now?
I'm thinking you obviously look at Harry Kane, for one, being the England captain. He should be the one that's leading that at half-time and saying, just this isn't good enough. I think then the likes of Kyle Walker will be speaking as well. And I remember like my time in the squad, he was one of the boys that was really vocal. Jordan Pickford is another one. And then, you look around the rest of the squad, I'm sure everyone will have their say, but like you see a performance and you come off the pitch at half-time and you're thinking to yourself, we need to get straight back out there. We need to be the first team back out on the pitch and ready to go again. And I think we did that in the second half when we first started. For the first maybe 5 or 10 minutes, we looked like we was on the front foot. Obviously, the goal we got was offside. But then after that, we looked like we just stepped back off it again and just let Slovakia back into the game when it looked like at the time we could go and really hurt them and take the game to them.
I mean, somebody we haven't talked about much, but, somebody has tweeted, though, it's about Declan Rice. And we saw his confrontation with the Slovakian coach at the end of the game. Do you think that's born out of frustration in the team's performance and maybe his own performance as well?
Yeah, I think that it can come down to it. And I think, whatever's happened after the game has happened. And has Declan Rice been a player that's not done well at this tournament? You say his performance haven't been as good as they have been for Arsenal, but you look around the squad, I don't think there's been many players that will be able to say that they've been doing as well as they have done at club level. So, I said at the start of the game, maybe I want to see a Kobe Mainu and having the Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden as the 10s to hurt Slovakia, because you've seen in the game when they played against Ukraine, the way they got in behind them, between the centre half and the left back, between the centre half and the right back, and then down the sides of Lobotka, because he can't cover the whole of the midfield. There's spaces there to exploit them, and we just weren't able to do that. And I think if we played a one holding midfield and 2 10s in front, then it could have been a different story.
Well, I was going to say, what a goal it was to take the game into extra time from Jude Bellingham. After the game, he spoke about the pressures of playing for his country at a major tournament.
It's a combination of a lot of things, You're playing for England is an enjoyable feeling, but it's also a lot of pressure. You hear people talk a lot of rubbish, and it's nice that when you deliver, you can give them a little bit back. It's very difficult in press conferences and interviews and things like that to talk as openly as footballers want to, because they're always judged. And for me, football and being on the pitch, scoring goals, celebrating is my release. And it was maybe a message to a few people, but it was a very happy moment and full of adrenaline.
Listen, I've been there. I remember times at Aston Villa where you bite back at fans and you bite back at the media because you're frustrated at criticism. But I think Bellingham's got to understand that it's only when the team aren't performing. It's constructive criticism from the media and fans. When Bellingham scored yesterday, everyone's buzzing, jumping up and down. The first half against Serbia, how good we were. Everyone's positive. Sometimes as players, and he's still young, isn't he? Younger, he's going to learn maybe the more media work he does. I mean, media interviews he does. That sometimes you just got to play the game, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. And I think Jude's come off the the game there, and he's gone straight into the press conference straight after the game, and his adrenaline is high. It's still running through him, and when you ask questions, you answer straight away. You can answer the wrong thing. And, like you're saying, everybody wants to be constructive about England, and it's not, digging people out. It's wanting to see the nation do well,
Yes.
see our country do well. And, we're not trying to dig people out. I remember before the 2018 World Cup, we spoke to the media and said we always are getting killed before the tournament's even started. Like, you need to give us some positivity and let us go out and play. And I think that's why the tournament went the way it was. And I know since then, Gareth's been the same way with the media, and he's always spoke highly and spoke of wanting to get media on side. And I think that's why there's been more of an interaction with the media and the players. And the players feel that the interviews are much better these days. And like I say, Jude's come out after the game. I think adrenaline's high, and at times you do have to bite your tongue and just go and deliver on the pitch. And if you're performing well, then you can come bite back as much.
You forget how young he is, though, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
He's just turned 21, so you're going to make a few mistakes maybe in your interviews.
Yeah, of course.
But we have to definitely try and be positive. But it's hard, isn't it, Youngie, when you're at the game yesterday and you're doing the game for talkSPORT with Piercy, and Piercy's not one to be negative about England.
Yeah.
And he's had enough himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell Stuart weren't too happy yesterday, and like you say, he's Mr. England. And
Yes.
it was tough. It was a tough watch for everyone. It was tough for myself first, co-coms, and watching a game like that. But it's one of the things, like you say, we're trying to be constructive and trying to take the positives out of everything and not be negative. But like you say, when you play and watch a game like that, it's disappointing.
Let's go to the phone lines and take a call. Kane is an England and Stoke City fan. Morning, Kane.
Good morning, Kane.
Morning, guys. Morning. How are you? Morning, Gabby. Morning, Jeff.
Very good. What do you make of it?
I sort of echo what Gabby said earlier. I think it was spot on. I think the left-hand side is absolutely killing us with Trippier. They just don't look comfortable, do they? They keep cutting inside, and I think the problem I've got, you don't want to come on and just blast Southgate. You want to be positive. We've got through. Look, Bellingham scored, Kane scored, great. But he hasn't. He's kept the same side for the whole tournament, and this isn't the first time he's done it in previous tournaments. He's been negative, and for me, I thought Southgate, if it is his last tournament, we don't know what's going to happen, obviously, after his tournament. But if it is, I thought he was going to go out on a bang. Do you think any Premier Club was going to be looking at him from the outside, going, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, he's done well this tournament, but when he's been that negative, he's not making changes, and the team's playing as it is." Now, I know you can sit here and just blame the manager, but for us, it's so obvious what the issues are. The left-hand side being that, I think the next game he's got to play Saka on my left, he's got to play Palmer on the right, and he's got to put Bellingham as number 10 and stick with Mane. And I know, obviously, Gary's going to have to. Someone's going to have to come in for him for the next game. But yeah, I sort of echo what Gabby said, really.
Brilliant. Kane, thank you very much indeed for your call.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.